What's up, Jesus lovers? So, I am so glad that I don't look like what I've been through in life. The Lord has been good to me and I love him so. This video is the one that I've been dreading. I'm about to share my testimony of how God revealed to me that my husband was living a double life. This year, March 2nd, 2025, that's when my life really changed forever. I was debating about just putting this in a book. So if this video gets too long, you just can pull it up on YouTube. It might be cut on other social medias. God really has been on me daily. I've been disobedient because I know he told me months ago to get this out about encouraging his good godly spouses. Some men have been cheated on. Some women have been cheated on. All people are not cheaters, but this is for the faithful and loyal ones who's been betrayed by someone who used to be their lover, their best friend, protector, safe space. And visually, God has been showing me a skeletal bride, someone who's been down, stuck, held back, needing to come out of a bad relationship, depression, anxiety, stress, who don't want to get out of bed, sleeping the day away because of the residue left behind from a cheating spouse. They don't know how to get out of that sunken place and move forward. Now, I know marriages go through a lot because I've been married for 20 years, together with someone 24 years, since I was 17 years old, together longer than I've been apart. So moving on after the betrayal is something else. It's a process, and one that you would have to go through. You know you want to skip over it. I know. I've been there. The top reasons for divorce are non-communication, financial issues, infidelity, addictions, lies, and more. But this is not the page to encourage divorce. Like, if God didn't release you and you in your marriage, go and fight for your marriage. I love love. I love seeing love. I encourage love. Do what you got to do to try to make it work. But it still takes two. Two people have to fight for their marriage. If it's only one person fighting, then you're going to just see a downfall. So I'm going to share how strategic God is in my life, and how he navigated me on how to handle my marriage coming to an end. Now, let me just say, when you're faithful to God, God will take care of you. And that's why you have to keep God first. I'm so glad I always kept God as the head of my life. Even before my marriage, while fasting and praying a year before I married, just to make sure I was in God's will, I kept God first. Then my spouse, then me and the kids, then family and church family, everything else after that. Keep the order of God. Now, God told me to release this months ago, but I felt like it was so heavy. And I wanted to make sure that I was in a good place of healing, walking in forgiveness daily. Nobody can silence me. Like, I'm not scared of nobody. I just don't talk when I don't want to. I hate revisiting something that I'm letting go of. I'm not gonna bash anybody. I even heard like people were lying on me, trying to diminish my character, even lying to my kids to portray me in a bad way. I'm the sole provider for my kids. I take care of them. They're with me every day, so they know who they're dealing with. They know who their mom is. You can't convince my kids anything else. You can't tell my kids what I can and can't do either. And I heard the lies of I'm so mad, or I'm a bitter baby mom. That is so dumb. You haven't even seen bitter. Or I'm stuck in ways or something. It's not even true. And I didn't even care to rebuttal. My testimony is not for me. It's to help others. Go pull somebody else out of what you went through. I live to please the Lord. I'm not going to stop talking because it hurt people's feelings. My story, what happened to me, I'm going to share it. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to do whatever I want with it. I'm going to do what the Lord wants me to do with it. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises up against you, it will be condemned. And it's not that all people are bad. It's just the adversary, the devil. People got a hold to them. 1 Peter 5:8 talks about he prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. And if you crack the door and let the devil in, man, he gonna bust it wide open. He's here to steal, kill, and destroy everything that God loves. And you know God loves unity. He loves marriage. It's his family dynamic, the design that he had. He doesn't want broken homes. That enemy will have you lusting after someone who's not your spouse, engaging, pursuing, going out with them, disrespecting the mate that you gave vows to, pouring into something that's dead and starving something that's alive. He will take complete control over you. Listen, just because you think somebody is cool doesn't mean that they're not a manipulator or a narcissist. It can be a cool, laid back, nice, sweet manipulator. A cute liar who self-serves, uses everything to their advantage, is dishonest to the person that's loyal to them. They can be nice and acting like a good person, help you out from time to time. That doesn't negate the fact that they're still a narcissist or they're still a manipulator, that they still treated somebody wrong. They show you who they want you to see, but the person who lives with them actually sees their true colors. And that's unfair to the loyal spouse who don't want no parts of that life, nor have the energy for that. It's okay for you if you want to close a chapter and then open up another one, but to drag somebody in some mess, that's so wrong. And lie about it and act like you left years ago. They'd rather you talk to them head on and let them know, where are we going from here? Godly spouses. God sees all and knows all that you're going through. He knows that you gave it your all, that you fasted, prayed, and sought the Lord in your specific situations and what to do. That you tried to listen, you carried the load, you changed your ways. And if you could hold on to a marriage, even when somebody else wasn't doing their part, God got you. You are not to blame for the demise of your relationship, no matter how much they try to blame you for. And I know they try to say that both are to blame. Nobody walked in your shoes. If you tried everything, you did a great job fighting for your marriage with everything that you had in you. Look for God to reward you. Because one day we're all going to stand before God and give an account for the lives that we lived here and what we did, how we treated other people. Don't say when you get out of marriage, I'm going to do A, B, and C. Do it now. If you feel like you need to be in the gym, do it now. If you feel like you want to go and pursue a career, do it now while you're still in a marriage. Don't wait until the demise of the relationship to start doing something. Go for it. Live now. Have fun now. Laugh now. Love now. Take yourself out now. If your spouse doesn't want to come with you, do it by yourself. You don't have to wait for nobody. Encourage yourself. Lift yourself up. It's life after betrayal. That is not the end of your story. God is not even finished with you yet. Even if that spouse did whatever and don't want you, God wants you. And somebody else do too. This is why I love God. I love that I kept God first. He got the #1 spot. I never let him go. God has really taken care of me. I would never talk to anybody who's trying to compromise my relationship with him. You can't come in between me and God. Add value to my life. Help me get to my purpose as I help whomever God sends. God will meet every need in your life. He will lift you out the pit. He will give you your joy back, your peace back, the love that you used to have back. God will turn everything around for you. If you wait for somebody else to meet all of your expectations, you will not be satisfied. You might be waiting forever. But it's not your fault that he cheated. It's not your size. Marriage is not a trial where you testing me to see if I'm the one. And if you're not doing something, I'm going to go get another one. And if you're not, that's not how God works. Do you know what your vows said? before the Lord, the covenant and the contract that you got in. They cheated because they wanted to, because they were being selfish. They went looking for something that they wanted. And guess what? Your flesh is never satisfied. God can satisfy you. I hunger and thirst after God, after righteousness, and God fills me. Whatever empty void that I have, God fills it right back up. Because going through cheating and betrayal, you can have low self-worth, low self-esteem. You can wonder, why did he do that to me? Am I not good enough, pretty enough? So many other different things. No, they were selfish. They will stand before God and have to give an account for that. It's 100% their fault. Because you can do a lot of things to work it out, talk it out. You can end that relationship and before you get into another one. For me, so I got Married to a Cheater parts 1 through 3 on YouTube. So this is number 4. This should be my last one that I'm making about my particular story. I still can't talk about everything just yet, but I cannot wait to share a lot of the good news. I'm going to make other videos where we need to talk. We need to talk about how to start again, how to move forward, when to start dating. What lessons did you learn? What to do when you're separated? Starting over after someone you love destroyed the entire life you guys built together. Life after divorce. Single again, raising kids. Co-parenting. Being single and celibate again. Hideaway. Maybe I'll just start the podcast and start talking and touching on these subjects, because we all need to make sure we're healed and getting back to purpose. Let me know in the comments what other conversations you think that we should have, and we're gonna be talking about this stuff. I know in the book you probably gonna laugh, cry, get inspired, get motivated, live peaceful, get stronger, step into the life that you never thought you would. And I know that I'm not called to everybody, and I'm fine with that. But for the people that I'm called to, let's go. You know, God will turn everything around for your good. Everything that you went through, you're going to be able to flow over what other people drowned in. God will do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think, because it's life after betrayal. He's going to show you what to do with your story. And I pray that you be blessed, healed, delivered, set free, that you forgive and get back whole on this new journey that you're about to take. May you be unstoppable as you step into your next with God first. May his peace overtake you, overtake your mind, so you don't keep revisiting the same things that you just got out of. That you move forward with confidence, with strength. That God just makes you whole again. And then you're going to be able to look back like, wait, what? Did that really happen to me? Oh my gosh. I don't even feel nothing no more when I see them, when I hear them. Because it's going to be a God thing of what God did for you. Now, I'm not running through my whole journey again. You got to go watch it. But I will recap up until my last video. So last year, 2024, I noticed that the same patterns were arising from 2021 when I filed for divorce. But he was still pursuing me and apologizing and telling me not to give up on him and trying, and came back December 2021. I prayed and I felt like God wanted me to give him another chance, but I felt like God will also back up whatever decision that I was about to make. So I called off the divorce and gave him another chance. I did see him trying and helping out more and changing. Where I said I went wrong was I allowed him to come back before he met all 4 of my non-negotiables. So rule of thumb, make sure they are consistent with your non-negotiables before you recommit and let them come back. When you're in a relationship, the words that they're saying should always match up with their actions. I was getting a lot of words, but not enough action. Now, me being raised and trained to be a good wife, Like, you just don't think that your mate is just a liar. You look for the person that you was once in love with to show up. You look for the leader in them to show up, because you're the wife, so you want to be submissive. But if somebody is not in the position of leading the family and you have to step up, now you're the woman of the house, the man of the house. Now you're working to pay all the bills or most of the bills. I was in school taking 3 classes at this time in March for my electrical program, working over 14 and a half hours, whatever, doing what I got to do to hold down the fort, hold down the bills, because you will always hear, you got to have your man back. Make sure you holding your man down, and A, B, and C. But you don't want to lose a whole house. You don't want to have to uproot your kids and move on. And you're looking for that leader to show up. Like, should we sell the house? Should we do this? Should we do that? But if your spouse is living a whole double life, you're basically figuring out on your own. My household was out of order. I'm like, I can't be the woman and the man of the house. I can't manage and maintain the house when I'm not here. Everything is unorganized. And God even gave me a dream, like, you asked for this space and everything, but you need to get organized. So I'm like, okay, I know I do have to, but I'm like, Lord, where do I have the time? I was about to pay somebody to come and clean up and organize the house and stuff for me because I couldn't get to it. But if you're complaining about me not cooking or something, or being at the house because I'm doing that job, and you're off living a double life, and I'm raising a kid to do their homework, I'm stretched thin. How much do you expect a person to do? But this is actually what single moms do. They kill it for their kids. And you can be single in a marriage doing all of this stuff. And it wasn't until I was talking to, like, my wise counsel and my therapist, when they would be telling me, like, hey, if they're not doing A, B, and C, you don't have to do A, B, and C, right? You don't have to. And I'm just like, what? Oh my gosh, teach me how to be a bad wife. What? I'm not used to that. Like, I desire to be, I even pray, let me be the wife that my husband need me to be. Let him be the husband that I need him to be. But let him be the man of God that you've called him to be. Let me be the woman of God that you've called me to be, especially for my husband and my family. So I was always trying to be that Proverbs wife. But it was like, oh my gosh, like, I really have to get it together and stop doing some things, because you can't have access to me. Like, even if you think that your mate is cheating on you, or you got your proof or whatever, you can stop sleeping with them. Because I've heard some stories of where the person brought back a disease. If they're not answering phone calls when you're calling, stop giving them so much access to you. You can make some decisions and put some water on some of those little fires. You can't be all that they need you to be, and then they not show up for you. And you're just pouring and pouring and pouring, and your cup is almost empty on that last drip, and they can't put nothing back in your cup. And then it takes only God to fill you back up. Come on now. We got to use wisdom in some of these situations. Like, I know I felt naive to a lot of things, like, oh my gosh. But I didn't expect, I was just looking, I was trying to mesh what used to be, what was, with what is, to what the potential could be. But it just was not aligning. The man of the past, the man of 17 or 20 or 30 is not the same person, man or woman, because this is for men and women, not the same person at 40. You can change and you can grow, but are you doing it are you doing it together or separate? Are you growing for the better, or are you becoming worse as a person? How can two walk together unless they agree? Two people make the decision to be faithful, to compromise, to work on their marriage, to grow in their marriage, to put in the work, to fight to stay together. My world was wrecked like a cannonball. So my last video, part 3, I stopped at, God told me, go check for your husband. 2021, God told me, stop checking for your husband. So I stopped, blocked him from social medias and stuff like that. Because God said, it's taking too much of your time away from me, and I need you to get back to purpose. So even in your tough seasons, God still expects you to do his will and do it his way. No matter what fiery trials you're going through, you can't sit down on your calling. It's still people that you need to reach. It's still kingdom work for you to do. And it's hard, but the disciples did it. They still went to minister in their tough seasons, in prisons and being mistreated, and they did it. So you can do it in your tough seasons. Get up, move. God showed me a dream that I was like laying on the bed and my husband was like sitting, leaning on me. And I was telling him what I needed. Like he was like, just, yeah, I hear you, telling me everything that he needed me to hear. And he had a phone in his hand. And in the phone, he was scrolling as if he was looking at someone else. And he was distracted. But he just was, just telling me what I needed to hear. And it was just a dream where God was showing me he was manipulating me. So like I said, I would ask him for help with bills. I needed money. I didn't want to hold everything down. I want to do stuff with my money except for just paying bills. Like, we both working. You act like you work 16 hours, but you not coming home with no check. And then you got to borrow money from me. So I was asking God, like, okay, God, what you want me to do with this dream? Because just last year in 2024, you said, wait. You gave me another word, wait, don't leave. And then you told me to give him an extension. So since I love God and I allow him to order my steps, I try not to do things that he don't want me to do. I don't want to move unless he say move, and go when he say go. I was like, I need to put some water on this fire. When January hit, I just stayed on him like, where the money? We both can't be working and you ain't giving me no money. I'm not the man of the house. You supposed to be helping pay bills, or you're supposed to be paying all the bills. I'm holding everything down. Where's the money? Why is the light bill behind? The water bill, everything is behind. Why? If I'm holding down the mortgage, that costs the most. If I'm covering Christmas basically for the kids, where's the money? What are you doing with your money? So even when he wanted to talk lovey-dovey, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about nothing that's not important. Where's the money? Where's your check? You faking like you going to work 16 hours and you come back with nothing and you borrowing money from me? In February 2025 this year, I saw a picture of him in the background of Jezzy's profile picture, as if like she graduated or something, and you can see his head and hands in it. And I'm just like the bat, like looking away. And because side chicks can't post a married man. I confronted him about it, and he just was like, that's not me. I was like, Lord, well, since you're not giving me an answer and I'm not happy in this, my body going out, I'm stressed out, I shouldn't have more questions than answers for this relationship. It's distracting me. I need my mind. And in order for me to do kingdom work, I need to have a clear mind, Lord. I was like, I can't give up school because I'm in these 3 classes. I can't give up work because I got to pay bills. I don't want my kids on the street. I am tired. I'm stretched so thin. And I'm faithful and loyal to you, to my husband. I'm just going to sit down in ministry. I'm on multiple auxiliaries. I'm not doing nothing else. This is my last week. And the very next week, I was pulling up to the house and, his car was unlocked. Not that his key wasn't in the house, but I just went in the car and I found 2 secret phones. So I was like, oh, I need to crack these codes. Because on the screen, I saw Jezzy has sent something on Snapchat or TikTok. And I'm like, I've been telling him to accept me on some of his social media so I can see what's going on for myself, especially if he want this to work. Because I'm saying, like, did you want to separate? Is this not what you want? What are you doing? I don't want no parts of this. But I was still being a good wife. And he could have brought me a disease. I'm so grateful to God that he didn't allow sicknesses or diseases to come to me. And I got a clean bill of health. I went straight to the doctor after I found out these things. If you're going to be for the streets, be for the streets. Do not drag someone else in it. You know how much danger you can put people in? The situations you can put people in by playing with their heart, playing with their lives. After I found those phones, the very next day, I had to teach the teenagers at youth church. So I'm like, this is my last time, Lord. I got up at like my prayer time, like 5 a.m, and was praying to God. And I was like, all right, Lord, what do you want me to teach the teenagers today? What do you want them to learn? What scriptures do you want me to come from? And I instantly heard the Lord say, go check for your husband. And I was like, oh, well, he at work, Lord. He left. When I came in, found the phones, he was leaving out to go to work. The kid said he slept all day. God said, go check for your husband. I said, oh, okay. Oh, shoot, it's early. And I'm like, dang, where's his job? I know I got the address in my phone because I went up there to eat with him, or we went to go grab something to eat and he gave it to me. So I'm scrolling through old texts to find this address. I found it. I went up to the job, and he's a truck driver. So I'm expecting his car to be there because he's in the semi truck. Before I left the house, though, God told me, get that extra key. And I was like, his extra key, Lord? I went and got the extra key, and I'm like, oh, we must be about to check his car or something. And I got to the job. His car wasn't there. I was like, well, he not here, Lord. Where he at? And then God said, go check that address that I showed you. And I said, the address from a long time ago? So I had to go back into my Google Photos app and then just keep scrolling until I found this address. In October, I found in my car, I found like a box with Jezzy's information on it, address and everything. And I took a picture. I confronted him about it. That's old. And I'm like, well, this don't look like the same address from 2021 or whatever. Like, what do you mean it's old? And I sat it like on the bedpost, and he didn't touch it for like over a week. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's nothing. I don't know. Being naive, I should have just, but I took a photo of it and I put that on the shelf. So scrolling through my Google Photos, I'm like, okay, I found that picture of that box. So I put the address in, and I'm like, dang, it's like 45 minutes away. It's 5 something in the morning, Lord. I went over there, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I about to find? You know, mixed emotions just going through me. And when I pulled up, it was no cars out there. So I was like, is nobody here, Lord? And then God was like, use the key. And I was like, oh, you know, so I'm getting the extra key. Like, God really walking me through this. Because, like, my brain was not working at the time. And I'm like, okay, use the key. So I'm pushing the panic button. I don't hear nothing. It's a privacy fence up in the front. And then God was like, push the lock button. So I'm like, oh, since the panic button don't work, so I'm just locking the car, hitting the lock. And I hear the car, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I got out the car, and I like looked behind the fence, and I saw his car behind the fence. And another white car with this bog bag on it that said like Mom Life or something. And I was like, oh, you know, I pulled my car in that drive. I'm like, he built a privacy fence up to hide the cars, and the cars were so close that they were like they were almost touching. And I was like, oh. So I got out the car. I started ringing the doorbell, knocking on the windows and the doors. And I instantly hear, "You are being recorded." And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be on somebody's ring camera. And I'm like, so, and I'm just like, I'm a whole minister in these streets. I'm about to be fighting probably. Like, this is crazy. Let me drop my siblings my location. And so, and I could hear behind the door them talking. And I was like, you know, I hear you, right? And it sounded like he was saying like, oh, she over here with this BS. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just so, I was just so shocked. Like, everything, all mixed emotions going through me in that moment. I'm just like, I know he not saying that I'm on the BS. Like, so I'm like, oh, he must be feeding lies and portraying me as, you know, something that I'm not, to whatever. Then I'm like, are you about to come out here? Are you about to come out here to talk? I pull my car in the driveway. So, oh, we're having a conversation today. And I was ready to fight or do whatever. It didn't matter to me. And then he came out, opened the gate, and like tried to move her car in between my car and the porch. He couldn't get it all out the way. And so he came up to my car. And you know how these newer cars is. If the keys are in the car, and I got every set of keys in the car now, of course, as soon as you walk up to the car, they unlock and open for you. And I'm just like, no! So he got in my car to start moving it. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, like he can't like move my car. And I got all these keys. And so I like kind of like hopped on the car, not hopped on it, but standing inside the door, standing up. And he just started driving up the street. So I'm instantly thinking like, people, if this was a different time of day, people would really be recording in this moment. This is not real. Well, I'm laughing now because I'm over all of them other emotions that I had to, you know, that I had to go through, because this show wasn't funny that day. But my attitude and personality is so laid back. I'm nonchalant. I'm non-combative. I don't do drama. I'm the type that, like, I never chase a man. If you want to leave. I've been trying to get on with my life. You can tell me the truth, but you know when you got a good catch, you didn't want to let me go. I know my worth and my value. God reassures me of who I am. And I won't compromise my values, standards, or morals just to keep you. But what man wouldn't want to still stay with somebody who's nice and loving, who been holding it down, paying the bills, and you trying to live two lives? So when he came out, I'm just like, so this is where my money been going? Like, you couldn't help me. So you want to look like a loser to your wife, but you want to look like probably like a king over there. You helping pay them bills. You taking food off my kids' table. And you know, I'm not going to let my kids go without. So if I see that there's lack anywhere, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to do whatever I got to do just to make sure my babies have. They going to live nice. They going to dress nice. They going to eat food every single day. They never go without. But you know that about me. But so this is why you wasn't helping me. And I was so disappointed. Angry, hurt. And then I just was thinking of it, like, you was trying to prove to me that you weren't a liar. Now I'm like, everything was a lie. So all these emotions and stuff running through me, but we're not talking though, for real. This just was running through my head too. But the only little things I said was, so this is where my money went. And so I'm riding on the car. That's so crazy. And I was just thinking, like, I gotta pop the button, I gotta stop the engine so he can't go no further. And he wasn't like speeding, going 30 miles per hour. We were just going slow. But I'm just like, I gotta stop the car and get the keys out the car. And so I popped that button and I hopped out. My car is sitting in the middle of the street. And I'm just like, so this what you was doing? You could have brought me a disease. You was living this double life. I was asking you, did you want to separate? You kept leading me on. How dare you? And I was like, I was trying to get closure beforehand. And he was like, I give you closure today. And then he started texting and stuff. And he was like, you shouldn't have posted. And I said, posted? What are you talking about? From 3 years ago? From the years ago where, you know, I first started finding out some information. Are you talking? I shouldn't have posted then? And then he started, I'm like, who you texting? He's like, he said who. So he started walking back. So I hopped in a car to go drive back, and behold, of course, Jezzy was gone. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, the person is not here. He went in a house, so I'm looking in the backyard or whatever, and I'm just like, you know, I'm just in awe. I'm in awe. I'm shocked. My siblings is blowing up my phone, like, where you at? What is this address you sending us? Like, and I couldn't get to them because I'm trying to process everything. So I took out my phone to just start recording. And then I'm just like, just seeing him go in the house. It was like, oh, he's going in somebody's house. Like, he really stayed the night over somebody's house. And then when he came out and even locked the door, I'm like, oh, he got a key to the house? Like, bruh. This was so, oh my gosh. It was crazy. But we still didn't really talk and stuff. And even when he came to move the car, he like nudged me a little bit. But, you know, I instantly was like, oh, I wish you would. But, you know, that's just how far that went. So when he came out, he just had started moving his car to go up the street. So I'm just looking like, where'd the girl go with the car? But I was just like, let me call the person that he was texting on the phone, the one who I knew, just to tell them everything that just transpired, what he did, even though my siblings was blowing me up on the other line. And then they was just like, I would have bust the windows. I would have did A, B, and C. You know, my whole demeanor, I'm just so calm, like, but listen, God is so good. The way he wants you to leave, or the way he want to reveal things to you, the way the whole situation didn't have to be a war in the street where lives could have been lost that day. He's so strategic. Where if it was in a PM time where people would have still been outside, could have been recording me riding on the side of the car, about to confront. Like, if I was paying attention to the siblings and people could have pulled up, it could have been a whole mess. But I'm so grateful that God just had it be a peaceful exit. All peace, no drama from here. And when I went back home, you know, told the siblings, and I was like, I still got to minister today. So I was like, let me go do my work for the Lord. I went to minister to the teenagers, and I said, all right, any questions? My assignment is done. And we went across the street to the church, and I was like, yep, I'm going straight to the altar. I need my word now, Lord. This has been a morning, and I still did your will. And when I got to the altar, let me tell you, 3 people came up and prayed for me who didn't even know the type of morning I had. And they poured into me. They poured into my life, talking about what transpired and, you know, speaking to my future of what I was walking out of what I was about to walk into, and how God was going to turn some things around for me, and whatever I lost, like, and even saying, like, you know, this was not a great loss, Nakia. And I'm just like, really? Lord? It felt like it's a great loss because you know how much time, effort, energy I put into this, Lord. I was faithful. I wanted to leave years ago. And I'm just like, so, but, I just got a word. I got words from the Lord that day, and God just comforted me. He wrapped his loving arms around me. He helped me through the toughest times of my life, and he's still working on me, gave me my joy back, my peace back. Oh, this peace feels so good. You don't have to worry about taking care of 5 people, worry about where your money going, worried about how you not getting help, waiting for a leader to show up in your life to lead the family, desiring to sit next to your mate in church. No, I have the peace of God in the midst of whatever storms I go through. God takes care of me. And that's why no one can come in between me and God. I don't need anybody for anything. God has taken care of me throughout this marriage, when you should be able to be codependent on your mate, on your spouse. God took care of me. Oh, and I know God was looking at me like, Nakia, me and you've been doing this stuff like for years, right? I've been taking care of you. I've been giving you the strength when you didn't have any more, to carry on, to get up, to pay your bills, to make sure your kids was good. It was like, the only thing you lost was his presence. Oh, okay. So your whole world could be wrecked like a cannonball coming through it. But God will help you rebuild and get everything back to where it's supposed to be. I'm rooting for you. 2 Chronicles 16:9 say, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and from throughout the whole earth to show himself strong and mighty on behalf of those whose heart is perfect towards him. He stays near the brokenhearted. He binds up their wounds. He comes through for his people. He will strengthen you in a time of trouble." 1 Peter 5:10. "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong and firm." Try not to make permanent decisions in a temporary emotional state or situation. You're going to get your smile back. You're going to get your joy back. You're going to get your peace back. You're going to live after this. Continuously change and work on yourself to be a better you. Get up, be healthy for you and your kids. I believe you when you say you're hurt or you're in pain. But God is going to give you the garment of praise for that spirit of heaviness. Get it off your back. I know many hearts have been broken into many pieces, especially when you've given someone your all and put 110% into your relationship and didn't get to reciprocate that back. Some have been used, abused. Your feelings are valid. You don't understand why he cheated. You don't have to understand. He or she did it, and they have to be held accountable for that. Now you're forced to accept what has happened. And now you're forced to walk through it and come out on the other side. Everybody don't make it to the other side. Some would rather be stuck somewhere they shouldn't be. But no, it's time for us to get up. What you found out and how you found it out, my loves, that was the closure that you needed. You don't need any more proof. Like, I don't know everything he did. God didn't tell me every single thing he did. It wasn't for me to know. Maybe my heart couldn't take that. I don't know why God didn't show me. I don't need to know. That was the closure that God wanted me to see. That was my release. That was my 1 Corinthians 7:15 exit. Because so many people have questions about marriage and what God says about it. My exit: "But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God hath called us to peace. I didn't need to know anything else after that, and I still don't check for them.